Hey everyone, it's Casey Neistat here. And let me tell you, I am pumped for this one. We're diving deep into the wild world of creativity. You know, that magical place where ideas are born, solutions appear out of thin air, and you feel like you can conquer the world, one awesome project at a time. We're talking 10, count 'em 10 practical, actionable, get-off-your-butt tips to boost your creative game. Whether you're an artist, a writer, an entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to inject a little more wow into their life, these tips are for you. So grab your notebooks, strap in tight, and let's do this thing. Alright, let's kick things off with a little environmental makeover. Ever notice how being stuck in the same routine, the same dull environment, can make your brain feel like it's stuck in quicksand? Yeah, not exactly a recipe for creative genius. But here's the thing, your surroundings have a huge impact on your mindset. So if you want to shake things up internally, start by shaking things up externally. Move your desk, switch up the art on your walls, heck, even adding a few plants can make a world of difference. The key here is to disrupt your routine, to introduce something new that your brain can latch onto and say, "Whoa, what's this? Tell me more." So don't be afraid to experiment. Turn your workspace into a reflection of your creative spirit, a place that inspires you to think differently and break free from the mundane. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Casey, you want me to be bored? Isn't that the enemy of creativity? And you know what? You're right, sort of. There's a difference between passive boredom, like scrolling your phone, and active boredom. When you embrace boredom, magic happens. Constant stimulation blocks creativity. Disconnect and let your mind wander. Put away your phone, step away from screens, go for a walk, take a bath, stare out the window. Some of my best ideas come from boredom. Next time, resist your phone. Embrace boredom. Let your mind wander and see where it takes you. Alright, let's talk comfort zones, that cozy little bubble where everything feels familiar, safe, and predictable. Sounds nice, right? Well, here's the thing. Comfort zones are creativity killers. They're like those invisible fences that keep your mind trapped in the same old thought patterns, the same old routines, the same old, well, everything. And guess what? Creativity thrives on the opposite of that. Newness, excitement, the unknown. So if you want to unlock your creative potential, it's time to step outside that comfort zone and embrace the unfamiliar. Try a new hobby you've always been curious about. Take a class in something completely unrelated to your field, or even just strike up a conversation with someone you wouldn't normally talk to. The key is to expose yourself to new experiences, new perspectives, new ways of thinking that can shake up your world and ignite your imagination. So, get out there, try something new, and watch as your creative horizons expand. Alright, let's talk about the mind. That incredible, messy, beautiful mess of thoughts, ideas, and emotions that's constantly buzzing inside your head. Now, while that constant activity can be a breeding ground for creativity, it can also be a major source of distraction and overwhelm. That's why it's crucial to cultivate a sense of mindfulness, a way to quiet the mental chatter and create space for inspiration to flow. Mindfulness isn't about sitting cross-legged on a mountaintop chanting mantras. Unless that's your thing, then by all means go for it. It's simply about becoming more aware of the present moment, of your thoughts and feelings, without judgment. So, how do you actually practice mindfulness? It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths before starting a project, paying attention to the sensations of your body as you move throughout the day, or even just taking a few minutes to sit in silence and observe your thoughts without judgment. Alright, let's talk about inspiration. That magical spark that ignites your imagination and sets your creative soul on fire. Inspiration can strike at unexpected times. In the shower, on the subway while waiting for coffee. Seek it out actively. Feed your mind with new ideas and experiences. Consume everything you can get your hands on. Read books outside your usual genres. Watch documentaries on topics you know nothing about. Explore different cultures through film, music, and art. Expose yourself to diverse perspectives and ideas. Every piece of content, conversation, and experience adds to your creative tapestry. The more diverse your influences, the richer your creative output. Step outside your comfort zone and explore the unfamiliar. Challenge your assumptions and embrace different perspectives. Alright, let's talk about collaboration. That magical process where two or more minds come together, sparks fly, and ideas are born that would have never seen the light of day otherwise. Now I know what you're thinking. Casey, you're all about that solo hustle, that independent creator grind. Why are you suddenly singing the praises of collaboration? And you know what? You're right, I do love my solo missions. But even the most independent spirits need a little creative boost from time to time. Collaboration can be as simple as brainstorming with a friend, asking for feedback on a project, or even just having a conversation with someone who inspires you. The key is to find people who challenge your thinking, who push you to see things from different angles, and who aren't afraid to tell you when your ideas need a little work, in a constructive way, of course. Alright, let's talk about constraints, those pesky limitations, deadlines, and budget restrictions that always seem to be cramping your creative style. Now I know what you're thinking. Casey, constraints? Aren't those the enemy of creativity? Don't they just stifle innovation and limit our potential? And you know what? You're right, they can. But here's the thing. Constraints can also be incredibly powerful catalysts for creativity. When you're forced to work within constraints, you have no choice but to get creative, to think outside the box, and to come up with innovative solutions that you might never have considered otherwise. So, the next time you're faced with a constraint, whether it's a tight deadline, a limited budget, or even just a creative block, don't despair. Embrace the challenge. See it as an opportunity to flex your creative muscles, to think differently, and to come up with solutions that are as innovative as they are effective. Alright, let's talk about journaling. Now I know what you're thinking. Casey, journaling, isn't that a little too touchy-feely for you? And you know what? Maybe it is. But here's the thing. Journaling isn't about pouring your heart out onto the pages of a leather-bound diary. Unless that's your thing, then by all means, go for it. It's about capturing your thoughts, ideas, and observations in a way that allows you to track your creative journey, identify patterns, and spark new ideas. Our minds are constantly bombarded with information, inspiration, and random thoughts throughout the day. But if we don't take the time to capture those fleeting moments of brilliance, they're gone, lost in the ether of our ever-active brains. By taking a few minutes each day to jot down your thoughts, ideas, dreams, frustrations, and observations, you create a tangible record of your creative process. Even just a few sentences, bullet points, or even doodles can be incredibly valuable. The key is to make it a habit, something you do consistently, whether it's first thing in the morning, right before bed, or even just whenever inspiration strikes. Alright, let's talk about breaks. Now, I know what you're thinking. Casey, breaks? Isn't that the opposite of hustling? Don't we need to be constantly grinding to achieve our goals? And you know what? You're right, we do need to put in the work. But here's the thing. Our brains weren't designed for endless hours of focused attention. We need breaks, periods of rest and rejuvenation, to function at our best, especially when it comes to creativity. When you push yourself too hard, when you try to power through fatigue and mental exhaustion, your creativity suffers. But when you take regular breaks, you give your brain a chance to recharge, to process information, and to make those unexpected connections that lead to groundbreaking ideas. Even just a few minutes away from your work, whether it's a quick walk around the block, a chat with a friend, or even just a few moments of mindful breathing can make a world of difference. Remember, creativity is a marathon, not a sprint. And just like any athlete, you need to pace yourself, fuel your body and mind, and take breaks when you need them to perform at your best. Alright, let's talk about experimentation. That exhilarating, terrifying, and ultimately essential part of the creative process. Now, I know what you're thinking. Casey, experimentation? Doesn't that mean risking failure? And isn't failure the enemy of success? And you know what? You're right, failure is a part of the game. But here's the thing, failure is also our greatest teacher. It's through our mistakes, our missteps, and our experiments gone wrong that we learn, grow, and ultimately create our most innovative and impactful work. If we're too afraid to experiment, to try new things, to push the boundaries of what's possible, we'll never discover our true creative potential. So the next time you have an idea, no matter how crazy or unconventional it may seem, don't dismiss it. Give yourself permission to experiment, to play, to see where it takes you. You might be surprised by what you create. Thanks for watching. I hope these tips have inspired you to unleash your inner creative beast and start creating work that matters. Remember, creativity is a journey, not a destination. There's no right or wrong way to do it. The most important thing is to find what works for you, to embrace the process, and to never stop exploring. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content on creativity and innovation, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And as always, keep creating. I'll see you in the next video.